we hate the new music, or are we upset that our music experience was taken away from us?
Well, I'll say it.
Here, let me elaborate what I mean by our music experience.
Okay.
At the time we were young, we came up, you heard the song on the radio, or you heard it in somebody's car, or somebody went by with a boombox.
Or you walk past someone's house and he's coming out the
You
window.
walk past somebody's house, and you heard that record.
Mm-hmm.
By Saturday, you were able to scrape up $4.99.
$4.99.
So you can get downtown on the bus. You go get the album. You go in the store, you get the album. Just came out, brand new. Everybody's looking for it. You got it. You go ahead and pay. You ain't gonna say where you got the money because you ain't gonna say where you got the money.
But
Wait a minute.
Let
Come on, bro. You can't-
me say this before. On the bus ride home, you got the album cover.
Dude, why you interrupting my?
My bad. I talk too much. I never shut up.
Now he's like these.
He's a
Now
character. He's a
he's like
character.
this in character. All right, where was I?
You're downtown.
So once you leave the store, you get back on the bus. You read the liner notes. We call the credits. Get off the bus. Run in the crib. If you don't put it on the box stereo that your mom has, was a big piece of furniture with a record player inside of it. That when it broke, you put a TV on it.
The high five.
You run upstairs and put it on yours, and you played it until you got the next one. Then it was, our experience. That one record influenced fashion, parties, everything. It was a whole experience. You know what I mean? And we had parties, like real parties, where people actually had fun. You're in somebody's basement, you know what I mean? Finally getting the grind up on that girl who in school you could hardly talk to. She had too many of them punches. And then you find yourself too bad that smacked up against the back of her. You know what I mean? So is that what we miss? Is that why we hate this music, or is there more? Give it up.
I don't think. I mean, I look at it like this, man. I'm older. I listen to music regularly. I listen to many different genres, and I listen to a lot of new music from a lot of different genres. Hip hop is now an acquired taste because it depends on what's out there. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I can say that if I take Black Thought right now and put them up against let's go like Black Thought against who, the Baby or whatever it is, so on and so forth, okay? And you just go straight bars, okay? You're gonna say something to me, you're gonna say something to me, and I'm gonna wait and see, what was creative, what metaphors, what of the English language now have you just flipped the script on, and so on and so forth, made it an art form. And I can honestly say that today's rap to me is a lot less. You can put out anything anytime, and it's real easy. Versus brothers who sat for a long time sitting there going back and forth just to bring an album out every year and a half, maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I try to be liberal and listen to all the music, and there's sometimes I'm like, that beat is rough. I just can't get past the the auto tune and the lyrics and my first, like, I'll give you a perfect example. The first time I heard Migos, and I heard them making those sound effects and them and ping and all this little stuff, and I'm like, that's part of the jam. And I say, would this have been cool with me coming up? And the answer equivocally would have been, get them candy ass little dudes off the stage, please, and pull their pants up, please. And why is their pants so tight? And why are they wearing all this break stuff? And why are they making them sound effects like that? Like, we already got Dougie Fresh. And Dougie Fresh is the man. Like,
Still.
is the man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but what is this stuff? So I don't hate it. I just strongly dislike it to really listen to it with a critical ear?
I think the difference is, like, I'm not a hip hop guy. I'm saying it right now. But
Well, even R&B.
what you alluded to was when you look at guys like Chuck D, Rakim, those guys were intelligent.
Right.
The way
Right.
they wrote and there was intelligence involved. Now it's like you don't have to be intelligent. Now you just come out with anything like this, and everybody's gonna hear it and like it.
Mama.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mama.
I'm like, I was at work the other day, and I'm in my vehicle, and this young boy pulls up, and he got this trash playing. He's cool, I mean, so I can talk to him. I walked up to him. He rolled his window down. I said, man, what the fuck are you listening to? He said, this is hard. I said, if that's hard, man, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because right now, the only person that I dig is Bruno Mars. There is nobody else that I really dig. Because Bruno Mars, when watching him, the way he rolls, the way he hits it with his band, I mean, he excites me. These other guys don't excite me. And I gotta be honest with you. There is nothing exciting about watching somebody perform over a fucking sample. Just, for me, there's just not. And maybe because, understand, I was 17 when Rapper's Delight came out. So my musical taste was already funk and R&B. The rap was new. I went to rap shows, as a teen. But after a while, it just, after a certain level, it was just like, I'm good. And there were very few songs, rap songs, that I would listen to. Like this guy turned me on to a few things that I hadn't heard, and I liked him. Like, perfect example. I heard the clean version of "Slow Down" by Brand Nubian. I wasn't feeling it. We in a rap one day, and he got the uncut version, a better version. But on the other hand, I've heard songs where the clean version, like some of Dr. Dre stuff, like the clean version is better than the unclean version, because they had to use their brains to come up with a metaphor to say what they were trying to say.
You see, I can dig that. I can dig that. I mean, if I go back to hip hop, I used to go over and see. Matter of fact, I used to hear Houdini coming out of his room, or what was the Fly Guys, all that stuff back in the day, But I mean, even the samples back in the day, you talking like a Pete Rock or a Premier, even RZA. Like when you hear these beats, you know what I'm saying? It's like they would chop them up, do whatever they could. They be digging in the crates, and I thought they were sometimes giving respect to music. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that, but I also feel that we've moved on in an age where there are less musicians, more tech people. But the other issue is that I think this generation and some of the generations below, they don't really respect history. Like right now, we wearing Run DMC, but cats today wouldn't even give them the respect that they actually deserve to say, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have what we have today. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen to everything that already then came up. I mean, look at anybody who plays classical music or whatever it is. They go back hundreds of years and listen to stuff and come back and want to play stuff. Jazz, they go back, they listen to stuff. Now what?
Pay homage.
Yeah, they pay homage. Now I don't hear none of these young cats talking about and if it wasn't for Big Daddy Kane, Big Daddy Kane come up here, tear it up. It wasn't for Nice and Smooth. It wasn't for I'm like, yeah, these people paved the way for you. But like I said, they don't give a lot of respect to the history. Therefore, they think they create everything without really understanding the formula.
And the reason is,
the formula. You know what I'm saying? There was a formula to this thing.
The reason is because somebody came up with some bullshit that sold. So everyone's delving into the bullshit. Perfect example. Chicken noodle soup. One day, my niece was listening to it. I said, "What in the hell are you listening to?" And she was talking about what a great song it was. I said, they're talking about chicken noodle soup. What's so great about it?
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
with the hearty chicken noodle soup, they had the big noodles. I
yeah,
mean,
was it the big chicken chunks? Yeah,
they talk about that. I might have to go with that now.
yeah. And I do believe that. I think there was, I believe there was a plan to destroy music. I do, because how do you go from funky for no reason to disco, and then even like even up towards the 80s, we still had R&B, and all of a sudden the rap just took over radio formats, and now you got these young guys walking around with their pants hanging off their ass, calling themselves radio programmers, and you know what they're playing. So now, like the real music that we liked, you gotta put on your Pandora and your Spotify just to hear it.
B, when you talk about that though, the music we listened to back in the day, hip hop, cats still had their pants up.
Fashion was a huge part of it.
It was huge.
The sweatsuits, the shoes, the hats, everything, it was part of the music. You know what I mean? Like when you wanted to dress like the artist, man, you were getting some nice outfits. You was getting some nice stuff. It wasn't no bull, you know what I mean?
And if someone came out dressed like a prison fag, then everybody wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, even when NWA and them came out, I mean, cats was starting to, that West Coast style, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start wearing Dickies and khakis, you know what I'm saying, with some chucks and the flannels or whatever it is, But you think about it like this though, when the East Coast was already smacking, cats were rolling their leg up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wearing camouflage and all that stuff. I mean, but none of it was down to our knees, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different mentality. It's still men being men. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of factors, I think, especially when we come to talk about men. The absence of them. These brothers come out here wearing weave, it looked like.
Yeah.
Pink hair. And I'm not knocking because people going to get mad at me for that, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say anything other. I mean, if that's what they want to wear, that's cool. It just doesn't have that appearance of rap being strong, and because that was also the thing about rap, it was strong. You know what I'm saying? You were a man no matter what you did. You were Digable Planets, you were still a man. Yeah. Tribe Called Quest, you were a man.
And you were talking about hard times hitting just like the flu, homeboy. Don't let it get to you.
See.
All right, so
what you think, man?
What I want to do is I want to take y'all back a little bit. I'm from a time when artists made art. Having to research this question, a couple things happened. One of the most important things happened was I looked at, I always make comments. You always hear me make a comment about how back in the day there was like 50 bands. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, and you'll see that in a minute when I run through these other questions, I was pitting bands against each other. And one of the things I found out by pitting these bands against each other, you might have had a band, it was in your garage, you might have had a band, it was in your basement, and I might have had a band. But we weren't trying to do the same thing.
No, you couldn't.
It was crazy doing the research. Like there were certain people, here I'll give you an example. I really couldn't put Stevie Wonder up against nobody. Other than Earth, Wind & Fire, I really couldn't put the Ozzy Brothers up against anybody. There were certain people I couldn't, like for fun, I you'll hear in a minute, I put certain people against each other, but really looking at what we grew up in and what we came up on, you could go see a show. I saw Average White Band a couple months ago. You could go see a show and see a whole bunch of bands, but they all were trying different things. They all were doing different stuff. Everybody was trying to be original. Everybody was trying to, be who they were. And so the music was different. Like everybody was trying to make art. Like I couldn't put George Clinton and Funkadelics up against anybody. It would be no way. It would be silly. You know what I mean? It would be the silliest thing I've ever done.
Up against each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Take their whole group and break it down.
Funkadelic against Parliament. Other than that, write it off.
And now that we're talking about it, I think one of you guys, we had this conversation. I'm going to just throw this in there. In my honest belief, you really can't put Prince and Michael Jackson against each other, and I'll explain to you
No,
why.
you can't.
There's 2 songs that Prince did that Michael Jackson would have never done. Bambi and Sister. If those 2 songs don't tell you how different these 2 guys were, they put them together because they was number 1, they were entertainers. Number 2, they were both black.
Right.
But Prince was a musician in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was an entertainer
Well,
of this world.
They did say that Mike could play drums, but
I ain't
No,
see
no,
it.
no, no.
but Prince didn't need anybody to record
No, no,
to
but
record
let
an album.
me, okay, let me expound on what you said. They said Mike could play drums. I seen Prince play drums.
Yeah.
Then he would go down to the bass. Then he would go down to the guitar.
Right,
Then he would go down to the piano. Realistically, if he was not black, you can't pit him against anybody.
Right.
They pit them against each other because they were both black performers,
Yeah,
black artists.
that I do know.
But even with the rap, you had stuff like Public Enemy, like going through the pandemic and all these other things that happened, the George Floyd thing that happened. I said to myself, I said, God dang. I said, can you imagine if Public Enemy was in their prime during that?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine that?
Imagine.
Nobody said anything. Only song I heard throughout that whole thing, Eric Roberson did a song, Cancel 2020. That's it. So I came up, like you came up, like I'd be at my house and I'd go through my mom's collection. Everything would be in there, you name it. Child Lights, Nancy Wilson, Aretha Franklin, so on and so on. I come to your house, Chick Corea, Al D'Amelio,
Right. George Duke.
George Duke,
Stanley Clarke.
Stanley Clarke. And then we stand there listening to it, even though Stanley Clarke might have been on. We had to hold the Ohio Players album up so we could see the lady
In the middle.
with the honey all over her.
Sweet
Which,
sex.
which to this day, you know, you don't have to ask why I like honey so much. You know what I mean? I have a propensity for bald women.
I never tasted honey before in my life when I seen that.
You know what I'm saying?
God tastes good though.
blame,
Must
man.
taste good though.
So I just came up loving music, man, and loving everything about it. But I agree with your point. When it started making big money, that became a problem. And not only did it start making money, now we got to decrease the bands. We got to take a band and pull out the lead guy. We don't need all the other guys, but the studio musicians or whatever, or some producer, and just, you know. And I always say this, and I always believe this. I don't feel like people demand anything from the artist. We demanded, if you go way back, we demanded if you sang, sing. If you play guitar, play guitar. Whatever it is you say you did,
Do it.
and we demanded it, or we wasn't coming.
Right.
Now there's, you know, now you have to be famous. Yeah, I go to shows now. I mean, you have to be famous, and I think the only thing that really bothers me now, more than anything else, is you have a lot of people capitalizing on pain. You know what I mean? Like our pain.
Oh yeah.
And I get doing songs about things that happen to you. I do. I get it. But everybody's afraid at the end to say you can make it, you'll be all right, or this is how you figure it out. We want to leave you brokenhearted. So then the next record, we're gonna really take your ass down on the next record. You're feeling sorry now that he left. Wait till the next record. Where we
Right.
really take you down.
Right.
And that becomes our thing, and that becomes our life. And we have a history of that. We have a history of, unfortunately, even through Christianity, I mean, you could tie those two knots together too as well. When they say, you know, you're not going to go to heaven until you die. It's like, well, what are we doing here? But that's another show. But you know, you capitalizing on all these other things, and it used to be capitalizing on somebody's talent. Like I listen to like Jonathan Butler or somebody that I listened to since he first came over, you know, what I mean, from South Africa as a young man, and he's still playing. He's still playing that guitar. He's still doing his thing. I just went to see Stanley Clarke, like you said. These guys are musicians. They love it. You know, they'll do it for the rest of their lives. This other stuff, where you put on a track, like you said, you get a real good artist, a knowledgeable artist, you got to damn near read a book, understand what the hell he's talking about. Fortunately, there's Google now, where you could Google everything. But we had, like you said, we had the guys who could rap. They had the double entendres. They knew about different countries. They could, and you sit there listening to the record. You know what I mean? And you trying to figure out what he's talking about. It's here.
Well, I mean, think about it like this, man. Look who's relevant still. I mean, you got Snoop, relevant, still around. Big Daddy Kane will still sell out something. You know what I'm saying? It's like these brothers still have longevity. And my question is, the brothers that we listen to now, today, will people want to listen to them 20 years from now?
No, their fans won't be here though.
You know what I'm, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, but their fans won't be here because they all in shootouts.
Will they be here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
really.
will the rappers be there? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
They're all in shootouts all the time. How they gonna be here to
right?
To be here? You know what I mean?
But even if they do live, do you want to hear any of these cats 20? I mean, I don't even think the people today want to even hear who they like right now 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like these brothers that we listen to right now, like Big Daddy Kane, all them cats, they literally, they still do things on stage. They still say things on stage that make you go, man, I remember, man, he said they spit them like that. Man, oh my gosh. You know, I don't see people wanting to hear that hear this new stuff 20 years from now.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's because they're dumbing it down.
It's dumbed down.
Right. On purpose. It's no longer about talent. It's no longer about the art. It's about, let's just make this quick buck, move on to the next motherfucker when these don't sell.
Yeah.
And we'll keep that factory mentality going. And that's why, like, the older school guys, that's why they're gonna be around. And that's why even you looking at some of the guys who were in bands in the 70s and early 80s, they're still around because there's a market for that. I remember I was talking to my cousin who used to be a hip hop guy in Denver. He said, Chuck, I saw Bootsy for the first time. I'm like, and? Because it was no big deal to me. And he said, man, that was a hell of a show. I said, I know. That's what we did back in the day.
Right.
You figure he's been doing it for 40 years.
Right.
So he's going to give you a top-notch show.
Today, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, look at people like if Prince was alive today, he's never not had a sellout show. I think every show he's ever had has been a sellout situation, and he continues to keep. And he not only that, he continued to work on his craft. He continued to do more. You know what I'm saying? He continued to work, man. And that's the difference. It's like when you see these people today, these artists today, even the ones from the 90s. Like, let's take a look at the ones from the 90s that was these big R&B artists, and now people making fun of them in memes. Like Genuine, they making fun of Genuine. I'm like, y'all loved him 2 minutes ago, and now you making fun of how the man in age.
It was all on the pony.
It was all on the pony. You know what I'm saying? But now what you making fun of my man now? Like that's the same brother. Like, what's wrong? So it's like the longevity in the way people come out. I mean,
You know what I think? I think it's the songs. It's the songs that don't hold the water.
I hear you on that.
Like, for instance, okay, come ride my pony. I get it.
But
put that up against something like you and I must make a pact. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there.
Man.
You know?
Man.
That came out, what, 1970, 71, and there are people today know that song. That's the difference.
Well, I said that before. I said, music before used to teach us something. It would give us something. Okay?
Yeah, it would enlighten you.
Somehow.
Yeah. And it was related to the time. And like I say, it was so related to the time. Like Stevie Wonder's Living for the City. You know what I mean? It was some rough times.
During that time, right?
Yeah. And it was related to what
higher
was going
ground,
on.
Higher ground, you know.
Yeah.
Teachers, keep on teaching. If you had to
We went through the whole pandemic, dude. I'm telling you, I think I heard one song that related to the pandemic. And there's material all over the place throughout the pandemic, you name it. You didn't hear nothing. Not that I heard.
The only thing that rappers today create is what they look like, their image. And the creations, like when you think about how people have to look more ridiculous than the next person to make it. You're supposed to be this hard dude or whatever this and so forth, yet you walking around wearing, the most outrageous, ridiculous stuff. And, before it was about, look, either you got bars
or you don't.
Or you don't.
You
And
stand
if-
on the corner
And
of
if
the
you
cipher.
don't, yeah, right,
You stand on the
right.
corner of the cipher. You think
Right.
these guys can stand in the cipher?
Oh man, I mean,
Come on, man. I see them try to freestyle.
those young cats that you show me listening to Black Thought for the first time, I'm looking at them like the whole time they're excited about it. I'm laughing, but I'm doing this too, like y'all don't understand. This man just sat here and did 11 minutes of freestyle. 11 minutes. 11 minutes of freestyling.
He took you to Seoul, Korea.
He took you everywhere.
He took you everywhere.
They had to stop so many times just to say, "Did you hear what he just said? Wait, I gotta look that up. Wait, hold on, I gotta look this up.
The one
Hold on,
kid-
they're googling what he's saying."
The one kid was like, "This makes me want to go read a book." Very sad.
But the brothers that, and this is something else I do in class with these young brothers. I'm like, you know how many of these brothers actually have like they actually went to school? Like, don't get it twisted. These brothers actually are educated. They're like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, they were educated. Like, I'm not gonna say that's the end all, but I'm like, you have to understand, these were men. These were men.
And they know what's going on in the world.
Right.
They have an understanding of everything that's going on in the world.
What my man say that anybody back then that's broke, while we holding people high back from back then and they broke today. I'm like, you don't respect
Yeah.
nothing.
You know?
No,
respect nothing.
nothing. That's the young people today.
All right, so I'm gonna hit y'all with this real quick. Barcades or Ohio players?
I gotta go.
Wow.
I'm gonna go to the Ohio.
I'm going
Players.
Ohio.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, why?
Most of the Barcades hits, they were similar to someone else's hit. Like when someone else would hit, Barcades would come up with something similar to that song.
Okay.
I can go
Whereas
there.
the Ohio Players, these did their own thing.
Yeah.
So sweet stick. Nobody would know. There's only one sweet sticky thing.
Right.
Yeah, but there's only one of those, but there's other albums.
Yeah.
With great covers.
Yes.
With fantastic inner covers. That was.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Dad, for buying this album.
Where you going? I'm going to grab my bayonet.
I never looked at a bald head woman the same sense.
Right. Right.
Barry White or Marvin Gaye?
Oh, Marvin.
And you know,
Well-
I slip your little panties off.
Marvin.
Yeah. Well,
Gotta be Marvin, man.
for
Oh,
me,
baby.
for me,
I'm my darling, baby. I can't get enough of your love, baby.
Barry
Gotta
White.
give it up.
When Barry White did the Love Unlimited Orchestra,
Yeah, that was
he
crazy.
just took me to
Yeah,
a
that was
whole,
crazy.
like Love's Theme. That is my favorite instrumental by far.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I was never really a big fan of Marvin Gaye. I like
I mean, he was from the 80s as well.
I like some of his songs. Don't get me wrong.
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
ladies,
women love
you
him.
know, yeah.
Like, let's get it on. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, he probably had a bigger collection of used drawers than
yeah.
we did.
He had more than I can buy. You know.
I don't know. I mean, like Marvin just as a vocalist,
Yeah.
just as a sheer raw vocalist, my man was singing laying down on his back, just sitting there singing along as they warming up, you know. And I'm listening to this man sing as he's laying on his back, which is not easy to do. Okay, I mean, how you got to be able to project that.
Right.
Marvin was killing it. Marvin's the man. I'm sorry, smooth.
He was.
Smooth.
I have no qualms about that.
Tina Marie or Angela Bofield? I tried to
Listen.
do
Okay, y'all gonna get mad at me.
the
I
best
love-
I can.
People gonna get mad at
I
me.
What?
love Angela Bofield.
Yes.
I love her so much
Okay.
that when I saw her unsung, I couldn't watch it again.
You cried.
Yeah, I couldn't. I could not watch it again
Correct.
because it was heartbreaking for me. It really was.
We don't have a Kleenex man yet. When we get one,
Well, we have a.
We'll call
we
you.
we have paper towel.
Might need it. I'm sorry, so I might be getting a lot of black folk mad today, but Tina Marie was not one of my favorites.
expound.
I personally thought that her voice was kind of excruciating.
You couldn't even force her biz.
That's all I heard from her. It just, Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, that's my mom. I love my mom,
Give it up, give it
but my
up.
mom would sing Tina Marie songs, cover songs. Would cover her, and sing songs. And women would walk up to me, "Your mom sang that song better than Tina Marie ever could have sang that song." And I was like, "You're right," because Tina Marie ain't all that. Tina Marie, to me, maybe her earlier stuff people like, but I was never really into Tina Marie, no matter what you played. Angela Bofield, man, I mean, the woman was tough, man. That was a voice. That was. She had some funky grooves. I loved her style. No, love that queen. So that's me. I'm Angela, man. Team Angela.
All right, here we go. Jodeci or New Edition?
Jodeci.
New Edition. Well, see, it's kind of hard because
You don't love her. You try to tell yourself.
here's the reason why.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Jodeci.
Imagine how hard this
Wait a
was
minute,
for me putting this
wait a minute.
together.
Here's the thing. Jodeci got 2 singers, all right? There's 4 of them. They got 2 singers. New Edition, after Johnny joined, they got like 3 singers. You've never heard Mike or Ronnie sing. You know what I mean? And even when they do like BBD, you don't hear them guys. There'll be background going on. These guys will be doing like this right here.
So that's not the ones they're not in the back singing. Tell me when I seen you smile, because I know I miss you, babe. And no.
I don't know, because when you listen, if you see New Edition perform, like I see them on TV, and like there's 5 of them on stage, but all you hear is like 2 voices, and everybody's up at the mic. That tells me something.
I have to.
I like
have to
New
agree.
Edition. No, I like. Don't
You
get
don't
me wrong.
appreciate the Johnny Gill growl?
I do, but if everybody's supposed to be singing and they're stepping, you only hear 2 voices. What does that tell you?
So I'm gonna say Jodeci because at the time, not 2022 Jodeci, but at the time, those brothers could sing, man, and the background vocals were dope on those too. The beats were rough, but all I'm gonna say is New Edition. Okay, here we go again, y'all. Sorry, black folks, if you're gonna take my card away, take it again. I never thought that New Edition could sing. I thought that they were performers. They were young black kids that were doing their thing, and I gave them props for it. They were saying relevant songs that kids love, Telephone Love, Candy Girl. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But that's what Bobby said, and he was right because when they went solo, which one of them could sing better than Johnny Gill? That's all I'm gonna say. Which one could sing better than Johnny Gill? None of them.
Johnny Gill made it worse when he came as far as comparing the singing. Because you brought in a true singer.
You did,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what to do with that. Because you, I mean, you heard them on "Can You Stand the Rain?" They're singing, but you hear his in the background. My man going off. You're like, who's that? Who's the dude? That's a new guy. I don't remember him. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like I'm all about New Edition. Ralph Tresvant to me had one of the best songs ever in Sensitivity. That song come on, I tell people to shut up to this day. Like it's on. Listen to this. Bobby Brown might have the best albums because I mean Tenderoni, all that stuff, he was killing with that. Belle Biv DeVoe did their thing. Mm-hmm. But as a group, I'm putting my money on Jodeci singing.
He's gonna be forever your lady.
Look,
Yeah.
him and that leg. Ooh, yeah.
I want to freak you.
All right, Tony, or Mint Condition.
That now you fighting, man. Now see now you're fighting. See now this ain't even cool. But I'm
For the trip to Puerto Vallarta.
Which version of Tony are you talking about?
The one we know. Hey Walter.
Hello, Walter.
Let's just me and you,
Just me and you.
Ooh,
It's our anniversary.
man.
Made for you and me.
I'll say this. And that's a hard one.
It's a hard one, bro.
It is.
It hurts.
Because
We don't have a tissue man yet.
Tony, the Tonys had 2 vocalists. Mint had 1. I can't tell you which band had better musicians. I love both their songs. I still rock them all today. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip that one up because heads that one, tails you lose. Because I can't pick that one.
I'm
Tell you
glad I did good on that one.
I can't pick that one.
Now this is an easy one.
Okay.
When you heard Pretty Brown Eyes for the first time, tell me you was like, who the hell is this band? Who is this band? Who is this band?
No, that's funny you say that. There's certain songs. Y'all hear what I play. I play everything. You name it. There's not except for country. There's probably not a genre of music that you don't hear in this house. Pretty Brown Eyes is a song that when you first hear it, like we're going back to what we were talking about, the volume in my house goes all the way up.
It does.
Yeah. And I use studio speakers on a computer. That gives you some idea. That goes up. All the way up.
Quick.
Yeah.
But I'll say this.
I couldn't live
Special
in an
song,
apartment.
man.
Yeah, I couldn't live in an apartment.
I'll say this for me though. When you talk about that the Tony's first album, Who, my favorite songs are the ones that Dwayne sang, and they didn't get no radio play. But when they did I did love For the Love of You. That was my cut. But if you listen to the stuff that Dwayne sang on that album, oh my goodness!
I mean, that was great. That was great.
Yeah.
And he had a good album. I bought Dwayne's album. He had a good album.
Yeah.
So
I definitely believe it, but it's just when I've seen Mint Condition live a couple times.
Me too.
Tough.
I said it one time.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
So
I've
Mint
never seen the
Condition.
Tonys. I've never seen the Tonys.
And the lead singer is dope, man.
So both of y'all Mint Condition.
Well,
I'm Mint
Oh,
Condition.
you tied.
It's a tie for me.